What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the video, and make sure you leave a comment. Got a special guest on today. I think most of you might like his story. It's a hell of a story. You know, we've been coming at you all week with like some deep stuff. And you know, I think we should end the week with this brother right here. Brother, I'm giving you the microphone. Tell the people who you are, and let's talk a little bit about you and the things that you've been through.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Denicio Torres, and I am blind. I lost my vision when I was 16 due to a gunshot. And I'm an author, a motivational speaker, and I'm here right now with Chad, and I appreciate you for giving me the chance to talk to you and tell my story to you right now, brother.
Well, listen, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on, and you know, I hope your story hits, right? I hope it hits hard because you were 16 years old, you were involved in, you know, there was a drug transaction, you end up getting shot and you lose your eyesight. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about, you know, why you were there and, you know, some of the things that you went through on your way there and what was going on in your mind. So tell us about what happened.
All right, brother. Well, everything happened in 2007. Like I said, I was 16, and my homeboy asked me, can I take him to pick up some money? They owed him, and I was like, yeah. So I was driving, and I took him to the house around probably like 6 or 7 o'clock at nighttime. And when we got there, he asked me, you want to get off? And I was like, how long is it going to take? He was like, it ain't going to take a long time. So I was like, all right, I might as well just get off with you. And when we knocked on the door, and when we got inside the house, there was one guy on the right side. And if you walk straight, you will end up in the kitchen. And I stood right there in the living room. As soon as we walked in, he was like, meet this guy. He's cool. So I said, what's up to the guy that was right there? And he went to talk to the people in the kitchen. There were 3 people at that time at the kitchen. And I just heard him say, where's my money? And the person, I just heard a conversation, said, I'm not going to pay you nothing. And next thing you know, I saw him running. And when I saw him running, I saw that they pulled the weapons on him. And when I realized that the guy on my right side, the one I just had said what's up to, he put a gun to my head and he told me to go to the kitchen. So when they put it in the kitchen, they tied us from, me, they only tied my feet, and they tied him up from his hands and his feet. And everything started from there, man. They wanted addresses, money, since he couldn't speak English, I was a translator. So, yeah, they were beating him up, stabbing him and stuff like that. And, you know, one of the guys, he just came up to me and he was like, man, I don't know what you're doing here. You're so young. You're only 16 to be around this type of people. He was like, you're so young. You're a really young age to be around here with these type of guys.
Let me stop you for a second. Let me stop you for 1 second. The people that you're talking to, right, are they Mexican as well? Are they Hispanic?
No, they were black.
And the dude's having compassion for you, telling you, look, man, you don't even belong here. You shouldn't be with this dude. But are they trying to rob this guy, or are they just, you know, saying, hey, look, you sold us some bullshit. We want some better shit. I mean, did they feel like they got robbed? I mean, why were they doing this?
To my understanding, since I was a translator, something got sold to them, but apparently what the people that I was with gave throughout the interaction, something happened to what got given to them, and they put the blame on the person I was with.
So was it cocaine? Perico?
Honestly, to be honest with you, at that time, I didn't even ask what was it, because at that time, they didn't even was telling me what was it. They just wanted more money. They wanted to see where the stash houses was at. And like I said, I wasn't giving up nothing. As soon as they tied us up, I told them in Spanish, I'm not going to say nothing. And he was like, okay, cool. So, like I said, they were beating him up and stuff. And eventually it got to the point where they got frustrated. And they were like, we're going to bury you guys alive in the backyard. And I just saw them drag him out. And I heard a gunshot. And I was like, man, he's dead. It's my turn. A couple of minutes later, they brought him back in, and he looked up on me. He was already all beat up and stuff. And I asked him, are you okay? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, and he asked me, "What about you?" I was like, "Yeah." So throughout the process, they were saying that they wanted like $100,000 in a ransom to call the people that we knew. Then it went up to 500, and they was trying to get information to where my family lived at, where our family stayed at. But at the end of the day, we was already there, and I put myself in that situation. But since we wasn't talking, or I wasn't talking either, one of the guys, I was sitting up to the wall, and he was like, "You know what, man? I'm tired of y'all. Y'all ain't saying nothing." He put me back to the ground. He put me to the ground at that time and tied my hands to my back. My feet was already tied, and he just got on the side of me. No, a little bit before that, man, I had a necklace. This is a crazy thing story about it, man. I had a necklace, and he came up to me and he was like, "What type of necklace do you have?" And I was like, "Well, in the Mexican culture, we believe in the Virgin Mary." So he bent down and grabbed my necklace. He was like, "Don't worry. Well, if you believe in her so much, she's gonna keep you alive tonight." So probably like 15, 20 minutes later, that's when he tied my hands up and my back, and he pushed me to the floor. He's like, "Since you ain't saying nothing, I'm gonna shoot you." And he put the gun to the side of my head, and I just looked up, and I was like, "Well, if you're gonna shoot me, shoot me." So he shot me. The guy that was initially there with me, that took me to the kitchen when I first got inside the house. He ran inside the house. At that time, they were bringing more people in to put me in the car before they shot me, where I can go to some of the houses supposedly that they thought he had. And he came and he was like, "Hey, man, what happened? What happened?" I just heard him. At that time, everything just went black. I just could hear him, and I just heard, "We just shot him." And the guy told the same guy that shot me, "If you don't let him go right now, I'm gonna shoot you." And the guy cut the ropes from my hands, and he was like, "Where are the cars to the keys? Where are the cars to the keys?" And I had the keys in my pocket because it was my car. He grabbed me. He ran out the house, and he came back because I wasn't following him. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I can't see nothing right now." He put a towel in my head. He put me in my car. They transferred me into the other car that was supposed to come and get me before that, to take me somewhere, supposedly for I can take them, drive around and point out the houses where they was at. And they eventually dropped me off in downtown in a hospital called Grady. And they dropped me off, or they gave me to a security supposedly that was working at that time, and told me that they found me and shot up in the block, like that I was just laying there in the street.
Let me ask you this. Let me stop you for a minute, all right?
Yes.
This happens in Atlanta?
Yes.
You're 16 years old. I want you to keep it real. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I want you to keep it 100. I mean, you're 16 years old. Were you a drug dealer, or were you just like, "Hey, man, I'm just with my friend or my people, my uncle, and I'm just being cool, man"? Were you actually selling drugs?
It was like a point, man. I can't say I was selling, me personally, but I don't know if I heard your story too, and you have homeboys that sometimes you ask them for a favor, and they'll do it for you because you're so cool with them. And since in many cases back in the days, man, when you have people that don't speak English, and they'll be like, "Hey, can you call this person for me, or can you go with me to translate?" Basically, what I used to do more was like a translation type of thing. If you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying, but let me ask you this, because I've been in drug houses in New York City, and I've been in drug houses in Texas where I didn't know Spanish, and the main dude didn't know English, and they had to have a translator. But my question to you is this: when you're translating and you're going with the big homie, I mean, is he looking out for you? Is he putting a couple dollars in your pocket after the deal's done?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. That's what it was. But for me, that you can say that I was like getting it and distributing it myself. It was nothing like that.
You were
It was just more like a translation type of thing.
So you go over there and you translate. What was your pay average? After they make a deal, what did he shoot you? A couple $100, $1,000? What did he shoot you?
It was more, you can say, like a couple of hundred, because a lot of times what people don't understand, like, more than me about this, but like, let's say you take some kilos somewhere they only pay you like $300 to $400 per kilo that you probably take from one state to another state, or even it depends if you bring it like from Chicago down here. It was like $1,000 per kilo, so you're not even getting a lot of money of the risk. If I can explain it a little bit better.
Let me explain it for you, because I asked you that question for a reason. I used to teach a class in prison called Leaders Breed Leaders, and I've said this numerous times on my channel. I would ask people, what are you worth? And you were 16 years old. I don't know who this other person was. Maybe he was your uncle, cousin, someone close to you, I would imagine, all right? You're the interpreter. And on that day, you were worth a couple $100. You lost your vision for the rest of your life. You could have died in there. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's the point. That's why I'm answering it for you. Do you feel that you were worth $200 that day? $400?
No, and I think none of us are worth $200, $1,000, $10,000. But especially when you're young, you think that you're invincible, that you can say you're Superman, that nobody's gonna touch you, that nothing can happen to you. But at the end of the day, man, we all can get touched, even though it doesn't matter if you're hanging around with the worst. The worst people in the streets. At the end of the day, something can happen to you. It doesn't matter how powerful they are. Anybody can get touched, especially in the streets.
I know you're a motivational speaker. You speak to kids and stuff like that, right? And,
Yes,
there's a young man watching right now. He's 14, he's 15. He thinks it's cool to be in the streets, man. He's with the big homies, with his cousin selling dope. I want to ask you to do something, man. I don't know if you'll do it, but I want you to. I want it to hit home. I want someone to see this. I want you to take your sunglasses off and show them what your eyes look like, man. Show them. Show them what could happen to them, bro. You might change a life today.
They're closed, so they had to take out my eyes. But that's what I was gonna finish telling my story if you let me right there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Give me 1 second. We're gonna get there, I promise. So now I want to ask you this: where did they shoot you at?
Right here on the left side. Actually, the bullet went through my left eye, and it broke my nose, and it got stuck in the back of my right eye. So when I woke up, like I was saying, I didn't know what was the extent of what happened to me, because still when I was in the hospital, I was talking to people like for 5-6 hours after I got to the emergency room. Before they put me into surgery. And when I woke up, I just they told me that the easiest way was to take the bullet out of my right eye, if I'm not mistaken. So because they got stuck behind there. So they amputated. Well, they took out my left eye, broke my nose, and took out my right eye to take the bullet out from my right eye.
So, wow, man. I hope that hits home, man. I hope somebody says, man, I don't want that to happen. And I feel for you, bro. You were 16 years old. You made a bad choice, man. And on that day, you almost lost your life. There's plenty of people in the street. And we see, again, a 16-year-old kid was murdered. You were 16. 16-year-old kid was murdered in my city last night, man. They shot him. He's dead. So, you were shot. This guy shot you with no remorse. One of the dudes had some remorse and some compassion in the house. He probably didn't intend for you to get shot. He wanted to help you. He took you to the hospital. He was going to shoot the other guy. But, sometimes you get these young dudes also in these robberies, and they think, man, I'm the hardest dude in the town. I'm going hard. And I think on that night, that dude was trying to act tough for the big homies that he was with, and he shot you for no reason, man. He shot you for no reason. Did he say anything to you just before he shot you? Was there any remorse?
No, like I said, the last thing I told him was, like, if you're going to shoot me, shoot me. Because in my mind, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, in my head, I already thought that I was going to end up dead. So for me, I knew I wasn't going to end up there, out of there alive. In my mind at that time, I knew I was going to die at that night time because of how the situation was playing out. And thank God it played out to in my favor, if you can kind of say, because I'm still alive. But, I would, in my mind, already thought I was going to die. And like I told you when we talked, that as weird as it sounds, I would have preferred if I would have got arrested and would have got 15 to 20 years, because, I've been blind now for 15 years. So I would have been coming out, and I would have been with my vision, without no disability. And that's what I used to say a lot. Because in my case, there's nothing I can do no more, to get my vision back. So in my case, it's a 0% chance that they're gonna have a surgery in my lifetime. What the doctors told me for me to get my vision back. And it's a hard thing to do, to wake up when you have all your vision, like in my case, and wake up, man, and I already had like 6 surgeries in my face, and at that time, and I had to learn how to get dressed. I had to learn how to eat. I had to learn how to just get around. I dropped out of school when I was 13, so I had to go back to school after I lost my vision, and I graduated, man. In the top of my class, I was the number 6. I had a GPA of a 3.8, National Honor Society and everything, man, when I graduated. So, from going to depression and suicide thoughts, and, just graduating, and just being somebody else, a whole different person. I say that when the old me died that day in the hospital, and somebody else was born that day, and that's the person I am now. I'm a whole different person because of what happened to me.
I want to get into that too, but I want to talk about a couple other things because first, and then we're going to get there to what you're doing, what you've done in your life. And you said they had to take your eyeballs out, right? They actually took your eyeballs right out of your head, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you talked about, you went through some, pretty serious mental, emotional, you're probably distraught. What was it like when you finally realized, like, look, man, I'm in the hospital. I can't see. Is your mother there? Your family?
I think, to be honest, man, that's what hurt me the most. Actually, me losing my vision didn't hurt me a lot. I think what hurt me the most was the pain that I caused my family and my friends at that time, man. I had many people, homeboys and stuff, showed me a whole bunch of love, and just seeing them when they came and saw me and talking to me, man. I think that's what got to me the most. Putting my family through all that pain that they went through, and up to the day. I know they probably don't say it, but I know that it still hurts them more than probably hurts me.
What about your mother? What did your mother say?
Oh man, she was so distraught, man. She was sad, and she was so sad, man. I guess she never thought that something like that would happen to me. And to be honest with you, I know probably people, in my case, they'd probably be like, oh, his mom wasn't looking out for him or his dad. But there's a saying that I always say, man, especially when you're a teenager, there's some of us that will act one way around our parents, but as soon as we step out the house, we're somebody else. There's a lot of things that we do behind our parents' back that they probably don't know about. And society would probably blame our parents, saying, well, they didn't raise them right, they didn't do the job. When, that's the totally opposite of what really went on.
Oh, I believe that. I know that. That happens a lot. And, there's going to be 2 messages here. One's going to be about mothers, and one's going to be about what are you worth at the end. And we're going to talk about that. What about your friend? Was he shot that day too?
Yeah. He got shot, but with him, what eventually happened to him, since all the commotion and everything didn't went out right for the persons that were there, when they took me to the hospital, they put him to clean up the blood. So they left him alone, and they left a knife on the table. And he cut the ropes from his feet and ran out the front door. And he eventually got it. I think he got it to the hospital almost around the same time I got there.
Where did they shoot him at?
I think if I'm not mistaken, man, in the shoulders and the shoulder and stuff like that. Because when he was running out the door, they were shooting at him while he was, because the house was surrounded by woods, and he was running through the woods, and they was chasing him, shooting him. And eventually he got to some houses, and they stopped chasing him because they figured that he had made it, where he could get help.
What ends up happening to those dudes that shoot you guys? Are they ever arrested? Anything ever happened to them cats?
To be honest with you, man, I'm not gonna sit here and say that they did get arrested because once I went to the hospital and I woke up, I was like, I'm done with everything. I was like, if y'all want to do anything, I don't want to know nothing about it. I told my homeboys and stuff like that. Y'all do what y'all got to do, and just I don't want to know. I'm done. This me waking up, I don't want to know nothing about nothing no more. So the police went and talked to me, and I told him, man, just go talk to my homeboy. And the only reason why it's like I said, man, at the end of the day, I knew what I was in. I knew the persons I was hanging out with, and I knew what could be the risk. And sometimes we just have to accept it. As crazy as it sounds, that's the lifetime we chose, and that's the lifestyle I chose. And I had to take that L. As crazy as it sounds.
For you to be 16 years old and these people stabbing you, talking about they're going to shoot you if you don't tell them the address. You had to be a strong 16-year-old, at least mentally, to be able to go through that and not fold. You know what I mean? And, sometimes our strength will get us, I hate to say it this way, but sometimes our strength will get us fucked up, right? And just bringing you on my show, man, was important to me, dude. Like, sometimes, things don't work out. I try to interview people and, we had bad weather and all that. But, dude, I ended up calling you back 3 or 4 times. Like, dude, what's up? Because you got a hell of a story, man. You got a story. And, when you took off the sunglasses and people looked into your eyes just a few minutes ago, I wanted that to hit them, bro. I wanted them to say, hey, I don't want to be in this position. And you said, I knew what the risks were when I was involved in this life. But I bet you never in your wildest dreams imagined that you would be shot in the face and lose both of your eyes. You might have thought the risks are I could die, I could go to jail, but never did you think that you would be left to live with no eyesight, right?
Right. That's one thing I say also. At the end of the day, they always say there's 2 outcomes, jail or death. But what about the third option, like in my case, when you end up with a disability? Nobody talks about it like that. And which there's a couple of people I know here in Atlanta that they tell me about that probably went almost through similar stuff like me, and they end up with a disability. But, it's nothing that many people think about.
Man. Wild, wild, wild life. So now your homeboys are they still around? Are they still, hey, man, what's up? They still look out? They still hook you up financially, or are they just gone, bro?
It's in that case, like I told you before, the offer was there to give me money at first, but I really, like I said, I didn't want to do nothing with it no more. I think at that time, in my head, I lost like you said, I lost everything, and just for so little. And it's not like they forcing you or nothing to do that, because at the end of the day, you know how much you get paid, or they tell you, hey, can you do this for me? And I give you, a couple of $100 or a couple of bucks, and just to get on the phone. And once everything happened, man, like I said, they told me what you want to get done. You want to go after them, and I said, honestly, I'm done. Whatever y'all want to do, whatever happens to other people, I don't want to know. Financially, I'm not saying I was good, but it was like I don't want that. I don't want that no more. So I declined the offer, then helping me financially at that time.
What's your life like now? I know you graduated. You wrote. How many books did you write? Did you write a book?
I wrote one, and they want me to write another one, but I think I haven't done enough stuff after my first book to me personally. Even though people say I have, me personally, I don't think I have enough material for a second book. But I just have one right now.
What's your book?
What's the name of my book?
Yeah. What's the name of the book?
A Second Chance with a New Vision by Denicio Torres. And the reason why I put my second chance with a new vision, because this is my second chance of life, and the new vision is because I see, even though I can't see, I have a different type of vision of my life and where I want to go from 15 years ago into now.
What are your plans for the future, man?
Just keep doing what I'm doing. Just keep on going to these schools in Atlanta and Georgia, you can say, and motivate other people, man, and try to keep these teenagers away or kids or from the streets, man. Because I grew up in the '90s here in Atlanta, and the games were what we looked up to at that time, and even 8, 9, it still affect us in a way because you look up to certain people, and your mentality still change because you grow up with that type of mentality sometimes, and just try to like turn them away from stuff like that. I'm not saying that I'm probably going to change everybody I talk to, but if I can change one person every time I tell my story, I think that'd be enough, man. To change somebody's life, I think that'd be great.
That's what's up. Do you think you can make it living on your own, or do you live with family? How do you make it?
Well, right now I stay with my right now I stay with my sister, and I always been family dependent. Even though I'm pretty sure if it was even if I wasn't blind, Mexican culture, we're so family dependent, and I think I'll probably still be with somebody. But right now I stay with my sister, and she helps me out a lot. My family helped me out a lot, and thank God, man, I'm so lucky to have families and friends when I need them. That I can still hit up and hey, I need this, or can I get a ride? And I'm so blessed of that, man. I got a great support system.
That's what's up. Does your mother live close to you?
No, he actually went to Mexico like 13 years ago, 12 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you get to see your mother still, or no?
No, right now, me do. I was born in Mexico, and they brought me here when I was small. But right now, I'm legal, but I can't leave the country right now. I have a visa right now, so I'm getting everything situated so far I can go and see her.
That's what's up, man. That's important. You also got a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, sir.
And tell us a little bit about the YouTube channel. Is it a motivational channel? I mean, what do you do on there?
Well, to be honest with you, man, it started off as a motivational channel. I erased probably majority of my videos that were motivational, but the only reason why is because people are so fanatic about like organized crime in Mexico, and I started doing videos on that, in my opinion, to try to motivate people not to get in that lifestyle, and that's what people started watching more. I started seeing a little bit more traction on my channel, but I want to take it back to more to the motivational type of stuff, doing like how do I do stuff now that I'm blind, and I do new like I research videos of crimes that happen like in certain states, and I talk about that and give my opinion. And basically, it's more like that, my opinion on stuff, and try to motivate people not to get in that lifestyle. But it's mostly like type of news, and you can say it's motivational, but it's not as much as I wanted to.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right? And I'm sure your story and all things that you talk about it has to be somewhat motivational because you went from a 16-year-old kid losing his eyes to, maybe not wanting to live anymore to, finally making it and saying, you know what? I'm going to live the best life that I can live in the condition that I'm in. And you're living it, man. I mean, do you go out? What do? You don't sit in the house all day, do you? You don't strike me as that type of dude.
No, no, no. I'm not. Honestly, I'm not that type of dude. I actually chilled out a lot more than not when my kids were born. But nothing changed. Nothing changed after I got shot. And the people around me can tell you. The only thing that changed is the type of stuff you can say I was trying to get into or I got into. But besides that, I was still living my regular life. I was still going out to the clubs. I was still, as weird as it sounds, man, I was still drinking at the age and doing partying and doing the stuff at that time. So, and up to now, I get, I don't like being inside the house. I'm not that type of person. So I go out when I have a chance, and I have fun, man, because we only live once, and we have to enjoy every second of it, regardless what we going through.
What do you do that makes things fun? Amusement parks, comedy clubs. What are you doing?
To me personally, right now since I got my kids, man, what brings me is joy is my kids, man. When we go out, like to take them out to like the amusement parks, and I get on rides with them when I feel like getting on, but it's more of them. And when I go out now, basically we meet. When I have fun, I just go out like to bars and stuff like that once in a while. I stopped doing that a long time ago, as much as I used to. But it's just more of my kids, man. And I have two. I have one little boy and one little girl, and I'm they're with me. So that's it, man.
Where's their mother at?
Um, their mom is she's she works a lot, and since I have more time, more free time, I we came into agreement that I would prefer, me personally, I would like to keep them, and she accepted it.
Wow, that don't usually happen often, does it?
No, no, but when sometimes at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, what's better sometimes was better for the kids, man, and I think as parents we have to grow up sometimes, and it doesn't matter how the relationship ended or something like that, man. At the end of the day, the kids is what should be first.
That's what's up, bro. I commend you, man. You're kind of like a single dad, bro. You're blind, but you're handling business. Are you able to cook? Do things like that?
No, no. I can cook if push comes to shove. I won't starve. I won't let my kids starve. But typical Mexican house. My sister cooks, or she cooks for us, and that's how it works, man.
It's all good, bro. Listen, I'm white, dude, but I used to make the best tostadas you'd ever have, bro. With the corn tortillas, the frijoles. I used to hook them up, dude, and people would be like, the price is like, yo, bro, you make the best tostadas, fool. But, hey, it's all good. Listen, man, I'm just, I'm happy that you're living your best life, man, even though you're in the condition that you're in, man. And you know what? It doesn't seem like it held you back, right?
No, no, it hasn't. Honestly, at first, like I said, it did, because it was something that was new, and learning how to do a lot of stuff, and mentally, it affected me. But once I accepted everything that happened, and you met people. I met people that helped me out a lot, and my friends, and at that time my girlfriends, or even the mom of my kids, they push you when you meet people. They push you and they help you out a lot, and they motivate you to do a whole bunch of stuff. And gladly, and like I said, man, thankfully, in a weird way, man, I have met people throughout my life that help me go from one step when I need them to another step, and that's how it's been late, up to now. That's it, man. Just the support system I have from my family, like I said, from friends, from the mom of my kids, from all that stuff, man. From her side of the family too. So it makes my life a lot easier, and like I said, my kids are my blessing, and for me, that's what I'm doing everything for them, because I want them for they can see when they grow up and they go through stuff, or anybody, man, like you're saying, that's watching this video, man, that it doesn't matter what you're going through, if you have a disability or not, PTSD, depression, suicide thoughts, man, that like they say, the storm will go away. It don't last for a long time, man. The feelings that you have are seasonal, or you probably wake up mad today, but by the end of the day tonight, you will feel better, or you wake up with a different attitude tomorrow.
No doubt. So look, man, before we go, right, I want you to give a message to the youngsters. You speak to kids, give them a message, man, and then when you're done, I'm going to give a message.
Well, like I always tell these kids when I go to school, man, at the end of the day, this is not worth it. It doesn't matter what you think. We're not Supermans. We can get touched. It's not worth it. The lifestyle is just more of what you think that's cool at that time, or you want to get fast money, or just get street credit. But it's not worth it to put your family through pain, lose your vision, spend 10, 15 years in jail. At the end of the day, for a couple of bucks. Because if you end up go to jail selling drugs, you might make 20, 30,000. You might have savings, but once you get out, you know, that ain't nothing. You did 20, 30 years probably for $100, like $5, $10 a day of drugs. So, no, just think stuff before you do it. Honestly, I don't know what else to say, man.
It's all, I mean, you said it all when you took them sunglasses off. And my message is more along the lines of, again, man, what are you worth? You know, this man right now, you're watching this video, this man lost his eyes. Lost his eyes for a couple $100 to be an interpreter in a drug deal, right? The streets are dangerous. There's people out there that will shoot you with no remorse. They will shoot you just to shoot you. You know, you're taking a chance with your life. And that's what the message is. The message is, think about it. Look in the mirror and say, man, am I worth more than what I'm risking? Sometimes you got to weigh the risk and the reward. What is it? What is it? What outweighs which? And I think at the end of the day, if you're honest with yourself and you look in the mirror, young man, you'll realize that the risk is not worth the reward. That there's so much more that you could lose, man. And, you know, that's the message tonight. I was going to give two, but I think that one plus yours is what matters. You know, I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you, you know, taking off the sunglasses. Because I think that's, you know, this is one of them videos where it's going to hit, man. When someone sees that, it should hit them and say, wow, I don't want to be in that position. So, again, I appreciate you. What's the name of that YouTube channel so people can go over there and subscribe and check you out?
Well, then my YouTube channel is Denicio Torres. You know, this is my name. That's it. There's nothing fancy. It's just my name.
We're going to have to get that thing hooked up, bro.
Yeah, I want to change it, but, you know, I was probably thinking change it like to my second chance or something like that. So, but I don't know yet.
It's all good, man. Listen, I appreciate you. I'm going to tell people, man, go check him out. The NCO Torres. I'm going to pull up the link so we got it, and I'll put it in the description. But, again, man, I appreciate you. I'm going to tell everybody, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the video. Make sure you leave a comment. All this week, man, we brought some real videos. Share them. I think they mean something. With respect, Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.